let's turn back to Nigeria, where images of heaps of rotten, high-denominated Naira notes that are rendered useless due to years and years of storage are turning up on social media almost on a daily basis, since the Central Bank of Nigeria issued December 15 deadline for the introduction of redesigned 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira notes. In a country where poverty is rife, jobless rate is north of 30%, where credit is hard to come by for small businesses and interest rate is at cutthroat, not a few Nigerians are shocked at the emerging images of wasted stockpiles of Naira notes. Paul Alaje is a senior economist at SPM Professionals, and he joins me now from our Abuja studios for a conversation on this development. Good evening to you. Thank you so much, Mr. Alaje, for coming through. Let me ask you this first question. Are you shocked at some of those images of wasted stockpiled Naira notes?
Well, I was shocked. I was very shocked. I was disappointed. I could not imagine until I started receiving pictures directly via Twitter, on my Twitter land, and I started seeing some, that we have Nigerians, when you have a lot of Nigerians that have not, compared to those that have, the number of those that don't have continue to increase. The distribution of income is weakened by the day. Meanwhile, we have some persons who don't mean well for our country, who have stacked money on their walls, in their rooms, who have created votes, you know, that even some banks don't have. People who are evildoers, if you ask me, they are economic sabotage. Those who want this economy to be on its knees by keeping raw cash at home. And if you ask, it's money laundering. And how would they have gotten this money back to the system if the process of this money was clean, if it were not black money, if the money were to be clean money, it would have been within the banking sector. I see no reason why people should watch money decay, literally pixinate. You know, I was too surprised to see this. If I had been told, I would have said that will not be possibility. And the people need to know that when you keep money in bank, you are not just keeping the money for your sake. It's also for the commonwealth of the people. Because when banks have access to money, they are going to lend such money out to investment, for investors, for the purpose of investment. That will grow employment and reduce unemployment significantly. I think government needs to do more education. And we should also note that not having banking premises is not an excuse. I don't think someone who is not bank, we have millions and different whacks of money, Naira notes in thousands and millions, if not billions, in their homes, and continue to deny people a right to life. Anyone that does it, I think, should be severely dealt with by Nigerian authorities.
Well, you touched on that a bit earlier in your comments, but what did this tell you about the structure of the Nigerian economy and the gap between the haves and the have-nots?
Well, I think the structure of Nigerian economy is lopsided, and as much as we have some elites who are making laws, who are making policies, I beg your pardon, like central bank will raise interest rate, MPR from 11.5, 13%, from 13% to 14 to even above 15%, rather than inflation reducing, even though we have other factors that are causing inflation to increase. But the impact of this increase in MPR is not even felt by the people. So should we be surprised? 80% of money, 80% of currency in circulation is outside the banking sector. So if you are making policy only for 20%, that's 20% of the money in circulation. That's only 1/5. So what would the result be? The result will not be felt. The impact will not be felt. The have-not that have been denied jobs, that have been denied access, that have been denied living. People say it's government. I don't think this have to do with government. There could have been individuals who might have gotten contracts illegally, illicitly, and so on and so forth. You know, Professor Aluko of Bezet Memory even made an argument, even though it was not very popular. He said those who even stole our money, they should have a mind to invest it within our economy and not to take it out or to keep it in their homes, because they are even doing more evil, you know, by stealing, by keeping what they have stolen compared to what they have stolen itself. Even though many of us agree and some of us don't agree with even stealing in the first instance, because we think it's very wrong for anyone to loot the national treasury. But when you now make such money and you keep it in your homes by withdrawing it from the entire economy, I think it's even worse. And what will be the implication? The haves who claim they have, they will continue to have. But let me also say that what they think they have is not going to be permanent, because they will not live in peace. There will be bandits, there will be kidnappers who will create an economy of some sort, even though we should not give reasons for kidnapping. But it's also important that those who are looting this country dry, they need to understand that someday when they have nothing to eat, they may go for the soul of those that have stolen our commonwealth.
Well, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to ask you, Paul. Some of the images that are coming up on social media are rotting current Naira notes of the highest denomination. For Nigeria, that is 1,000 Naira, 500 Naira at that level. That tells the level of individuals who will have access to such high denomination of currency to be kept away for so long, for years and years, not being touched until they become useless. Do you think you'll find anywhere in the world where $1,000 notes will be kept unused in any country? Does it mean anything about how we really value the currency of Nigeria, or we just think it is something to just have? And if I can't use it, I might as well just dump it in one corner. If it goes bad, so be it. I mean, the mindset of Nigerians really...
Well, I don't think...
Please go ahead.
Well, I don't think really it's just about... I don't think those who have access to high denomination are among the poorest of the poor. Federal government have continued to provide support for poorest of the poor in terms of 5,000 Naira. That has its gain, and it also has its weak point. But that is not the conversation. I think most of the things we have seen, on social media and other platforms are those who have kept, if you count the number of whale of monies that you have seen in 500 and 1,000 Naira notes, you notice that it can only happen in this part of the world. And that validates people that says that Nigeria is not poor, Nigeria is not broke, but Nigerians have made Nigeria poor and broke at the same time. So if you then ask me that if people have 1,000 Naira note, I tell you, American authority will do everything possible to investigate and get to any home, anywhere, any warehouse, such money might be kept, because they know that you are not only denying the government or just stealing, but you are denying a lot of people, because there is a concept called velocity of money, in economics. And it's important for people to know that when you have such money, you have denied a lot of people, not just yourself, but a lot more people, access to perform some transaction per time, and also to capture what is the real size of our economy, what is the real size of our GDP. The more money changes, and potentially the higher the GDP of a country is expected to be. So I strongly believe that those that are doing this, we are seeing this picture, some sources of this picture should be investigated. We have also even seen articulated vehicle carrying some monies that people have said. I don't know how recent, how true that is, but we have seen this driver speaking one of the local languages in Nigeria. I think authorities like EFCC should investigate and do everything possible to uncover this, not just because of today, but also to deter many others who might want to loot our commonwealth dry.
So just a few seconds, Paul. So the NESG Economic Summit is discussing shared prosperity. So is this part of it?
Well, I think it's part of it, and I believe in NESG very much. I believe it's part of it. If you have what the monies you have is not, the authority there is the authority of the federal government. That is what makes it legitimate. You have no right to keep it. And I think we should quickly put a policy in place. When monies go beyond certain dates, maybe in years, there is news, even though it's unconfirmed, that some dollar bill, when we get to certain years, they may be rejected. That is yet to be confirmed anyway. But we should take a clue, because because when that news broke, we saw some reversal in value of Naira to dollar. You know, we are yet to confirm whether that is true, because as I speak today, is not yet confirmed. But that came up, what can accompany that news was reversal in terms of exchange rate of Naira, especially those that are speculating against the Naira, expecting it to fall. Even these people that are speculating against the Naira, they are majorly Nigerians. And I wonder where faith of people lies when they want their own local currency to go down, in order for them to make some personal gain rather than looking at holistic gain for our country. So for us to have shared prosperity, we must first know that our faith must lie in this country and hope for the country to go, for us to build the prosperity at first. If not, there will be nothing for us to share. What will be available when there is nothing to share will be conflict, will be trouble, and will be calamities.
Alaje, senior economist at SPM Professionals, thank you for your time and do have a great evening.